Let me ask you about another moment that you've written about. You were in Maine at your place there. You were out in a boat late at night alone, and something unusual happened. What can you describe what
Yes.
happened there?
Well, I was coming back to this island that I live on with my wife and sometimes children, and it was after midnight, and there were no other boats out on the water, and it was a clear night, and I could see the stars, and I was in the ocean, and I decided to turn off the engine of the boat, and it got even quieter. And then I turned off the running lights of the boat and got even darker. And I lay down in the boat and just looked up. And after a few moments, I felt like I was falling into infinity. I felt like I was merging with the stars. And I lost all track of my body, lost track of time, lost track of where I was. It was another moment like the eye contact with the ospreys, where I felt like I was part of something much larger than myself. And I don't really know exactly how long I lay there because I had lost track of time. But at some point, I got up and turned the engine back on and went to my dock. So that was another transcendent experience.
So I've had a couple of experiences that share some similarities with what you have talked about. One was, and they're very similar, these two. One was when I was hiking in the Waimea Canyon in Hawaii, and another was I was biking very slowly in this nature refuge on Sanibel Island in Florida. And I sort of like kind of went into some almost slightly altered state. I sort of felt a little tingling, and I had this powerful sensation that everything was right in the world. And it was sort of this merging with sort of the whole natural surrounding. I mean, they're both very beautiful places. And it didn't matter at all if I was there. And so, I mean, this was the feeling that I had at the time. It wouldn't even matter if humanity disappeared. Everything would be right in the world. And I don't know what to make of that. And I obviously sort of, I mean, yeah, my sense of self was still there, but it was sort of, my significance was sort of, I don't know, diminished. And I don't know, does that resonate with you in any way?
Yes, I think that's very similar to the moments that I described, and I think probably everybody here has had moments like that, and they are beautiful and
rare. I mean, I've had two like this in my life. I'd like to have another one.
yes. Well, I wish we could order these up.
And yet, I mean, they're rare, and yet, as you say, there are moments they might just last. I mean, this probably lasted, I don't know, an hour at most for both of those for me, but it's kind of stayed with me. And, I still am I'm puzzling over what that is and whether that, is that a mystical experience? Somehow that language doesn't really work for me in some way, but it's sort of an ecstatic nature experience that
Yeah.
seems right.
Well, you don't have to use the word mystical. There's a concept in Hinduism called darshan, Darshan, probably mispronouncing it, which is the opportunity to experience the sacred. And the sacred could be God, the sacred could be the universe, the sacred could be nature. And it's recommended to us that we be open to darshan, that we be open to the world and be open to these experiences like the kind that you described and the kind that I described.